Hi guys, Rich from Art Smart, back here with another video. We're just actually going to take you through what speakers and why we have chosen for our cinema room. We've mentioned it a few times on the socials, but basically we've put in 3 different types of surround sound systems. I'm going to run you through those, but the ones that we're going to look at first, ironically, is the ones you can't see because they're invisible speakers. These are the Amina plastering speakers. Now, I know what you're thinking. You can see them, yep, because the boxes are all in front of me. However, once this room has been plastered and painted, you won't see them. So these speakers are going to get installed. We're going to put them in a 5.1.2 Dolby Atmos configuration. Let me get my knife. I'm going to open up some boxes and I'm going to run you through what we've got. So we're going to start first with the i3s. So these are the Mobius i3 series, and these are what we're going to be using for our Atmos channels in the cinema room. Recycle that. All very nicely packaged. So these are the speakers. For those who haven't seen plastering speakers before, or invisible speakers, such as these ones, they're absolutely mental, basically. They are absolutely phenomenal. So, how it works is on vibration technology. So this is a music box, right? So for those of you who haven't seen one before, I'm gonna come a little bit closer to the camera. I'm gonna show you here first. In fact, because I've got my mic here. That camera's all good. So we can hear that. So. I'm gonna bring it close. I'm gonna show you the music box. So, because again, there's quite a lot of background noise in the building today, but that is the music box. Why have I shown you that? The reason I've shown you that is because how these speakers work is on the back they have a driver. So that is a cord with a couple of crimps that will crimp onto our speaker wire, going back up to the rack. And then we've got the invisible speaker. So why have I put the music box on the speaker? Well, the reason I have is because this is how the speaker works. Ultimately, the driver for the speaker is positioned towards the back of the board. Are you ready for this? Prepare to be mind blown. Far too impressive. So yeah, so this is the i3 series. We have a pair of those for our 2 Atmos channels. I'm just gonna place these to a side for now. Now I'm gonna show you the next ones, the i5 series. Inside all the boxes, it comes with these. This is a speaker cutout template. Really, really good. And I mean, in fact, it's actually mounted on the front of the speaker. And then now they've even gone even further, and they've actually put NFC tags inside the speakers, so you can scan the ceiling with the phone once it's in and find them. I'm going to come a little bit closer. So this is the speaker cutout template. We stick this to the ceiling. It's going to show us exactly how to cut it out. It's telling us which series of speakers it's for, because they also have the IQ and the Edge series. Basically, with the Edge series, how that works is that's meant for jointing and taping. So if your ceilings are getting jointed and taping, you use the Edge series, but ours aren't. They're getting a wet skim. So 2mm wet skim, fully over, using this series. But if I wanted to know how to install it, I'd simply open up my camera roll, don't written instructions, do it like these instructions were like a video. And I scan the QR code on there, opens it up. So it takes me onto the Amina website and it gives me all the information there about the speakers and exactly how to install them. So I'm gonna get these instructions, just put them to a side for now, and we'll take a little look at the speakers. So here we've got the i5, exactly the same principle. They actually look very much alike, just a slight size difference. So that's there. There's those. There's those. And then finally, we'll have a look into the i7 series. They are exactly the same, just a little bit bigger, slightly bigger driver, and slightly different surface material. So let me see if we can get all 3 of these together now. So there are the invisible speakers. I'm gonna get the rest out of the box. Bear with me. Right then, so you might have seen that little bit of time lapse. I didn't just unbox the rest of the speakers, I actually brought out all these back boxes here, like so. So these have a little bit of acoustic treatment in there, and these are designed to sit in the ceiling behind the speaker, behind the plasterboard, and then the speaker's actually attached to these. So the Amina speakers are actually designed to go in between a 12.5 and a 15.5 mil plasterboard, and you can install little shims on the side of here to pack that out a little bit. As I mentioned, the back box goes inside the ceiling, and then what's actually going to happen on there, if I get one of my speakers, that's cut out within the plasterboard to the same size as the speaker. Obviously, you crimp your cable on and test it. The speaker then attaches onto the back box like so. Back box sits in the ceiling. Plaster bit sits down there at the depth of the plasterboard. And then what we're going to do from there is we're going to get a bit of filler. We're going to fill around the little gap that is never going to be left from where we've cut it. And then really awkward walk past all these cardboard boxes. And then we're going to install this. So this, for those who know anything about plastering, is a really, really, really big roll of scrim tape, and that's going to go over the top of the speaker. And then the plasterers are just going to skim a straight 2 mil wet skim straight over the rest of the ceiling. And then yeah, so that is how invisible speakers actually become invisible, because they're plastered in. Ultimately, they're not actually invisible. It's just when they're finished, you cannot see them. So yeah. These are the Amina invisible speakers. Yeah, I'm going to move on to the next bit. So one of the questions I get whenever we mention the plaster speakers, and obviously the bin behind the ceiling, is, what happens if they break? Well, luckily for you, they don't. So Amina actually have 2 different types of protection units. They have a single tube for if you've got a single or a pair of speakers. And then they also do this unit, the APC RS8IC, which I'm going to open up now. So this here is the protection unit. So it's designed to be mounted in a 19-inch rack. This particular model here, because it has an 8 in the part code, is designed to do 8 channels of audio. So we've got our left, center, right, rear left, rear right, Atmos left, Atmos right. We actually have a spare channel. If you had multiple zones of audio going in, we also have those, and we could use the left and right channels to 8 rooms of speakers if you wanted to via this. So what this unit is going to do then, the speaker's going to run through here, and it's going to protect them against any kind of overpowering which could potentially damage the speakers. So what would usually damage the drivers within the speakers is actually going to cause harm to this unit here, which over time is going to reset itself. So I've taken you through all the speakers that are going to get plastered in. Now, it wouldn't be a true invisible system if we had a big ugly box subwoofer in a corner of the room. So we actually have a sub. It is also an invisible sub, and I'm going to show you that right now. This is the ALF 120 from Amina. Let's have a look. So, now I wasn't really blessed in the height department. However, this is a pretty big sub. I'm going to say it's about 6'5" tall. Obviously joking, it's about 5.5 foot tall. So I'm going to whip the packaging off there. Again, we can see this sub now, so it isn't actually invisible as such. However, can we see this little slot here, this little aperture? Basically, this sub will completely go behind the wall. It's designed for stud spacings. It will go behind the plasterboard wall. And we're actually going to hide this within a wooden detailing. So some of you may have seen the lovely wooden panels done by woodveneerhub.com. We're going to put a link below here on the video to the Wood Veneer Hub. Very good wooden panels, unbelievably stylish and very good value. So yeah, so this is the sub with the aperture here. And then basically, using a rack-mounted amplifier, so we're actually going to use a Triad 700 watt amp because it's got DSP, but that is going to go inside our rack. That's going to power this subwoofer. Doesn't need to be that powerful. The Amina Sub can be powered from as little as 50 watts. It's just obviously we've got loads of those floating about. So we're going to put one of those in. It's going to power this, and then it connects from the rack to the speaker with speaker wire. So yeah, they are all the Amina speakers. Cameron's going to get some sexy B-roll, and he's going to show you those speakers there, and then I'll cut to a little bit of them installed later down the line. Hope you enjoyed.